Usually, when I'm recording videos here at the nature reserve, I'll be wearing either a woolly hat or a baseball cap. The reason for that is there's a danger that if the sun suddenly breaks out from the clouds, I might start blinding passers-by with the light bouncing off my head because I have male pattern baldness. I've got very little there and there's nothing at all at the back. In fact, one of the reasons I keep what hair I've got left so short is so people don't mistake me for a monk. And if you've lost your hair or you're starting to lose your hair, you are reminded of it constantly. I know if anyone is giving a description of me, they'll say, Danny, he's a bald guy with a beard and tattoos. The baldness is the first thing they mention. But of course, in these modern times, if I want to do something about it, I could have a hair transplant or I could just wear a syrup. If from outside the UK, syrup is Cockney rhyming slam, syrup of figs, wig. But to be blunt, I'm just not that fucking vain. Male pattern baldness is passed down the mother's side of the family. So women did this to me. So ladies, if you're ever thinking I could never date a bald guy, please be aware it's you that have done this to us. But there's a story in the news that means I will never again have to feel shame for being follically challenged. In a landmark case from here in the UK, an electrician called Tony Finn successfully sued his former employer, not only for unfair dismissal, but also sexual harassment. Back in 2019, an argument had broken out between Mr. Finn and his manager, where his manager referred to him as a bald. Now, I would have thought the second word was the problematic one, but Mr. Finn said no, he had no problem with the Anglo-Saxon language, but thought it was unfair to mock him for being bald, because it's not something he can do anything about. Of course, both men and women can lose their hair. Do you remember those happy days when we just had two genders? But of course it's much more prevalent within males. So 3 judges unanimously agreed that making fun of a man for being bald, a typically male problem, was no different than talking loudly about the size of a woman's breasts. Yes, really. So let's take this a step further, because there's a theory put forward by the feminazis, those foaming at the mouth, swivel-eyed lunatics who claim to be feminists but in fact just hate all men and 99% of women. They argue that sexual harassment is no different to sexual assault, a huge slap in the face to abuse survivors around the earth. But if we run with that, that means that next time someone comments on my lack of hair, Mrs. Disgruntled will come home to find me in the shower, curled up in the fetal position, crying endlessly, saying, I feel like I've been violated. And if that works, I could be retiring very soon. Because if this case sets the new benchmark, and it can be applied retrospectively, if I took everyone who's ever called me bald to court, this time next year, I could be sipping cocktails with Elon fucking Musk, finalising the details of my privately funded trip to the International Space Station. And what about the next time a woman comments on my lack of hair? If we go with the ridiculous idea that that's a form of sexual harassment, which clearly it isn't, and also that harassment and assault are the same thing, does that mean I can just grab her by the tits and explain, don't worry, we're going to cancel each other out? And something I've learned through the years is that if someone insults you based solely on your appearance, or what they perceive to be wrong with your appearance, usually they don't have an argument. They've got no more ammunition. Unless, of course, I'm doing it on this channel, in which case it's comedy gold and rapier wit. But if someone attacks you based on your appearance, it's fine to have a go back. And the one I usually rely on, if someone goes, oh, you're a bald wanker, I'll say, I can wear a hat. What can you do to stop being fuck ugly? As ever, thanks for watching.